We are live. Hello, everybody. Hello and welcome. Good evening and welcome to the Blue Abroad Show, Monday, 17th of November, 2025. It is draft week. It's finally here. I've brought in our draft man, Pommy, for one last live Blue Abroad show for the year, mate. Welcome.
You made that sound like it was a retirement. What for one last time? Yeah, carry him off. No, I'm looking forward to this, mate. Hey, it's a long time since I've been here. Actually, I don't know if that's true, but as an official guest, I hijacked.
Oh, as an official guest, yeah, I think. Well, you were here trade deadline day.
Yeah,
and then I don't remember a Monday night after that. Well, you haven't been on since you hit 10K. How about that?
Mate, yeah. Crazy, isn't it? Crazy. Was the time I did this when all I was a Christmas-themed Carlton jumper and a backdrop falling behind me. Yeah, good old days.
Yeah.
The raw days.
Yeah. And now you're into your 8th draft. Goodness gracious me.
Yeah, and we've gone mental, haven't we, as well? You're going to see something today that's pretty cool, which I'm quite excited to show you. But yeah, lots to talk about, isn't it?
So much. So hello and welcome again to all of you in the chat watching from home. Tonight, we are going to be, by the end of the show, the idea is that we are all fully prepared for the draft on Wednesday night. So the questions about the trade of the picks, I'm sure someone wants to know what that all means. We're going to go through all of that. We're going to go through Ison and Dean and the types of players that they are. We're going to look at everything. We've got new tools. There's a draft tool that Pommy's built, which supersedes anything we've seen. There's other tools that we will explain to you shortly. And you know what? We'll just enjoy ourselves one last Monday night, hey?
For one last time in 2025. Well, we are live for the draft as well. So, we're not going to get a lot of commentary.
Yeah. I want to start with, so this is the 8th draft, right? That you've covered in depth to this level?
I think is it the 5th on the tube and the rest has been on Facebook?
Yeah.
On the tube. Kill me now. I can't believe I said that.
I wanted to get an insight, right? So from the first draft you covered to now, what stands out as the major change? And that's a very open-ended question because there's so many things that have changed.
I'd say the biggest change is probably the coverage. Like when you go back, even 5 years ago, you only really heard in the media the first 20 names, and then the rest, it was just speculative. I'd say the coverage for just the average person now, everyone's got YouTube on, everyone's got a website now, so your ability to condense information is a lot better. It's not reserved. I'd also say the comparisons have definitely got a bit better now. Like, I was actually reading someone's draft profiles the other day, and they were comparing players to like Callum Archie and Carl Wilkie and just normal people. Like, as opposed to when I first started, it was like, this guy plays like Gary Ablett Jr. This guy plays like Dustin Martin. So that's getting a bit better. I'd say that's the big change. People are probably a bit more knowledgeable now on the outside the 20. Definitely this, like on my channel, the level of how people are now understanding how the points work, how the bid matches work, which we do that ad nauseum every year. But this year, I've got to say, everyone seems to have got it, which excites me a little bit.
I think so too. I think this year is the first year it's clicked into my brain. It's not, automatic, but I get it. Like, I understand that I need to visualize the leftover points from any bid or any trade and where those points sit. And this year, the off-season of 2025 is the year. And I mean, also, I think given ChatGPT's entered the world and AI and all of that, now what that's done is it's given the people who already have the super brains using the supercomputer to build a super tool. And so I think this is a really monumental year for draft coverage, because I think a few years ago you had, the emergence of, you got content creators, and then you've got footy stuff, YouTube channels like that, Rookie Me Central, and the highlights. And then so, you could visualize these players before they played a game. That was great. Now you've got draft boards and points, and as much as the AFL likes to make it more complex and go down the rabbit hole, it's like we can all catch up now and understand it.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I do hate myself that I've built a tool purely because if you're a child in my house, you are banned from using the calculator for anything more than three figures. So 10%, 20%, my 9-year-old and 10-year-old can just do that ad lib. 10% is easy. It's fascinating that we do need a calculator for that, but I understand it. Not everyone's a nerd. So it's cool though, because like why I wanted to build the app is I'm one of these people that I will learn. You tell me how to do it, I will do it. It will break. I'll get it wrong, and then you tell me why it's wrong. I need to physically do it to learn something. So I think the draft tool is very good because you can actually see it. So yeah, it's fascinating. It's a fascinating resource, let's say.
So last week, I think I was with Joe, and I was reminded, because we went through the last 5 or 6 drafts for Carlton, and I was met with yet another harrowing realization that we really haven't done very well, or we haven't got as much return from the draft anywhere near what we, should or could have. So I want to ask you, it's always easy to go back, but if you could go back in the last 5 or 6 drafts and redo one pick, which is the one that stands out to you? Because really what we've got right now to show for the last 5 or so years is, I think it ended up being Ollie Hollins, Lockie Cowan, Jesse Motlop. I believe everyone else, for the most part, is gone.
Yeah, it's. This is a dangerous game. I always say this: never play this game. Firstly, it is a dangerous game for your psyche to comprehend, because the draft is done at face value. You see, mine wouldn't be so much a draft per se. Mine would be the ramifications from a draft. So mine would have been, I would have never bought Adam Sard for pick 6.
Gotcha.
I still think when I look at Carlton's list at that point, I stand by it. I remember doing content with you ad nauseum. You don't pay a first rounder for a halfback flanker. They're 10 a penny. Like every draft, there's 50 of them. And then there's 20 of them 50 who are going to become very good because they've failed as midfielders or half forwards and become halfbacks. So that if it's genuinely a pick though, the Sam Philp one still torches me.
Oh, yep. I remember.
Still torches me.
It was you and Dane, I reckon, that were doing that live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still absolutely torches me. So that one always hurts when I look back at it, just because it was a stupid pick at the time, and it's an even stupider pick now, isn't it?
Yep. All right, we're going to come back to the draft because that's gonna take us through to the end of the show. I just want to cover a few bits of interesting news, which is really, Carlton related, obviously, but also footy wide. We'll start with State of Origin. So it's happening. Cripps is the captain of WA. Do you have any feelings about State of Origin? And those of you watching at home, do you have any strong feelings about State of Origin? Are you as passionate about it as what it seems like they're trying to make it out to be?
Genuinely, I don't care enough.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it. I think it's a great spectacle. I'm looking forward to seeing it, but I don't share the same reservations of, what happens if our players get hurt, things like that.
Okay.
That doesn't really concern me. I like the idea. I think people have been asking for this for a long time. And yeah, you've only got to look at how the NRL works. It's super good. We all watch the NRL. So I'm looking forward to it. Like I can never think you have too much football, to be honest, but that's just me.
Yeah, I guess I'm coming from I watch a lot of the NBA, and they've got issues at the moment with the All-Star game, and they've reworked it a number of times because push comes to shove, the players just don't compete as hard as what they used to. So do you have an expectation that there's a passion that Victoria really take it up to WA and push as hard as possible and play with as much purpose as they would in the season? Because that's what you get in the NRL with State of Origin.
I think the way that our game is, unlike basketball, where you can play uncontested, can't you? Like I watched the All-Star game. I remember it when it was MJ and Shaq was playing, and Shaq's dunking on 4 people. Do you know what I mean? Potentially knocking them out for the season. Now it's just a glorified 3-throw and big slam dunks for 2 hours, isn't it? I
Yeah.
think our game's always going to have an element of pain and suffering. I don't think you can play AFL in a soft, uncontested manner for 2 hours. And all it takes is one bump, doesn't it? And it's going to be on for all and sundry. So we saw it with the Indigenous All-Stars versus Fremantle, didn't we? Like that got quite physical at times. So it's inevitable that it will get physical.
I'm going to put a poll in. I want to get a vibe check from the chat. Those of you tuning in and that are watching from a device or wherever, I'm just going to put a poll up in the live chat. I want to see what you have to say about State of Origin. I love that they're doing something in the preseason. I have no issue with it. I'd be stunned if the first 3 quarters were played at an extremely high intensity. I can see the competitiveness kicking in the 4th quarter, but I'd be surprised if we get the battle, the war of State of Origin. I think it's a new era, and I mean, I would care if Cripps got touchwood, or if any of these players from our teams got injured playing in the State of Origin. So, but I mean, I come from an era where I didn't watch State of Origin much growing up. So maybe it's a generational thing, and maybe this is important. Maybe bringing it back for good is important for instilling why it's important. I haven't quite latched onto it yet, but yeah, I'm just curious to see how we all absorb it when it comes around.
I think it'll be kind of like we went to it, didn't we? Do you remember when was it for the fires that they did the special game?
Just before lockdown happened, they did but I mean, even looking back then, it was very free flowing. It was,
I think it'd be that level though, like that level of like it was good to watch. It was still tackles. There was still competitive.
Yeah.
But it was more on the sexy side of football as opposed to stoppage and contest, which I think in an ideal world is what the AFL want, isn't it? They want to be able to showcase the best of our game, which invariably it should be. It should be quite free-flowing, and I expect a high-scoring affair and a good one.
Fair. Tatum's tantrum. No more risk of injury than in a match sim at training. That's also fair enough as well. All right. Fair. All right, then. Question. Which Carlton players do you think will play in this game, apart from Patrick Cripps?
Wheaters, you'd imagine. Victoria, you'd surely be having him down back, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Harry. Who have we got forward at Vic? You've got what? Because you've got what?
Harry's a Victorian.
You've got what? Like Cameron.
Kerno.
I'm thinking as the big guys. No, but I'm thinking of who you'd play as the big guys as Team Victoria. You've got what? Cameron would be in there.
Sam Walsh,
Chance. Midfield would be tough because there's a lot of midfielders, isn't there, who are Victorian?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, it's fantasy football at that point.
Yeah, so I mean, because Cameron's already been named, hasn't he, Jeremy Cameron? He's put his hat into the ring, hasn't he?
I believe so, yeah. I believe so.
Oh, then it's tough, though. Who do you go? Do you go Darcy?
True. I would be happy for Cripps to play and he be the only Carlton representative, personally.
I think Wheaterin's a lock. I do feel like Wheaterin's a lock.
he and Harris Andrews. I believe Harris Andrews is a Victorian boy. No?
Yeah, two first names with the cheat code of +S. That's definitely Victorian. That's why I'm here. So yeah, Walsh, like midfield is tough though, isn't it? Because you got both Dacus's. Like that midfield is tough, isn't it? Butters,
Bontempelli, he's already in
Bond,
there.
Cripps, like jeepers, that midfield is tasty, isn't it?
Look, I do remember that game in 2020, and even just from a spectacle, it was really cool seeing Cyril and Betts and Cripps and Bont and Chapman, and like it was cool. I'm just curious around how intense it's going to be. But even if it's just an exhibition, I would still be okay with that. I'm a bit more fearful about injury personally.
I think it's cool, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think something. I'm like you. I wasn't here for the State of Origin, but I hear great stories, and it's something that I like the rep games.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't think you get to see that enough.
Yeah. I think it'll be cool. I think it's a great way to generate hype before the season starts. I do think it'll be cool. Don't get me wrong. My question's more around, are there people out there that are so passionate about State of Origin for the AFL that they want, the intensity of what we see in the NRL? But time will tell. 91 people have voted. I asked the question, are you very passionate about State of Origin? And 38% have said yes, 62% no. Small sample size, but I'm just curious nonetheless. Yep.
No, I love it.
Yep. I do want to touch quickly on Saturday night. Did you watch the W?
No, I didn't. So
Mate,
I couldn't tell you what went on.
I never thought in my wildest dreams in 2025 a lot of things would happen, but I never thought that I'd get to the end of the year and be so hurt by the Carlton Football Club's on-field performance that the W would restore some sort of pride in the club. And I just thought it was fucking awesome. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, yeah, the crowd was, I believe it was 5,000, 5,500. Good night on Saturday night. It was, it was just entertaining. And I really didn't think I'd be saying it to the level that I am. I'm really enjoying it.
You can't beat it. As long as everyone's happy, that's the main thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, mate.
Like that. It's nice to hear Carlton passed on with some positive vibes.
Yeah. Well, I saw today the club put up a reel, and they're like, the boys were imitating Sophie McKay's shoulder celebration. And I just thought, in that moment, I thought, wow, it's just a really interesting moment, that crossover, and what a little bit of vibes can do for a playing group. I mean, it's too early to preview 2026, but one of the biggest questions I know will already be up there is, are we going to see that, the men have an enjoyment for being at the club that we didn't really see too much of this year?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's great for the club. I mean, I will say this: like, female EPL, female soccer in the UK, massively followed, but it's hard to get a read because they are two separate clubs.
Right.
Like, and obviously you've also got the guys are under media scrutiny where the girls aren't as well. So you've also got that thing. So like, it's great vibes for the club, but I do think it is impossible to compare them in the terms of like what the boys go through on a day-to-day basis versus the girls. Totally different. You're not going to get as much negativity around the girls as you are the boys.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair? Probably not, but it'll be interesting because we've seen it before, haven't we? The girls have done well before when the boys haven't done well.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can take something from it, but I think that's going to be a very look. I hope they have their togetherness, and I hope you guys and girls are talking about the men's program like this in 12 months' time. That we've got the vibes and we're happy and we love them, and it's great to see them smile. I've done this for a long time, though. Do you know what I mean? Like seeing Sophie Mackay do that dance. Do you know what I mean? I've seen the boys do that dance, and people say they need to get on with playing sport.
Oh yeah, don't be
I
too happy.
haven't won anything yet.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's not been negative. Do you know what I mean? Before anyone says, "Come on, Pom, get around it." Fair play to them. Wonderful, great work. I'm just saying, I think it's a foolish errand to compare the sports because they're two different football departments, two different levels of pressure, two levels of media scrutiny.
Yeah.
Like I watch the AFLW reviews; they're always positive. Watch the men; it's horrible. Like it's horrible, even if they're winning. So it's different.
Well, did you have initial thoughts on the Carlton fixture that came out last week?
Yeah, I was in your stream. I was we did that together, didn't we?
Yeah. After a sleep and a thought, do you care too much about it?
I'm quite black and white on this. To win, you've just got to be the best on the day, haven't you? So I don't really pay too much into the fixtures. Yeah. Having done YouTube like you have for a long time, I've done these. Who's got the hardest ranking? Who's looks worse? Who's got the easier run? And you know that one of the easy runs, 6 of the teams in that 24 are going to be ridiculously good. Then the teams you think are good are going to have that brain fade when they play rubbish teams. So I always think it's hard to future-proof it. But based on it, I don't hate it. I think it's manageable. It's manageable. So got to go out there and do it. At the end of the day, that's where I am. Go out there and do it, boys. And I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. And that made me happy because I think last year there was kind of this opinion at this stage last year that we were playing some of the worst teams. We had the second easiest fixture list, didn't we, according to Champ Starter?
One champion data, yeah. Fox Footy.
Yeah. So it's one of them ones that I think it's hard to kind of look at it, like, until it happens. Because, like, I've watched a lot of videos on the fixtures. And, like, some people are saying St Kilda are rubbish. Some people are saying St Kilda are good. Some people are saying North are going to rise. Some people are saying North are bottom too. Like, we won't know if that's an easy fixture list till round 16 next year, will we?
It's only as good as you make it.
So I always like to think of it this way. I am just looking at Wednesday. That's where my brain is now. Wednesday. What do we need in the draft? Which then makes us go into pre-season with hopefully a list spot and the rookie spot, or maybe we do long-term injury Harry O'Farrell, which means we'll have an extra train-on spot. What does that look like from now till January? Once we get to January, my focus turns to first preseason game. Can we get as close to 44 ready to play round on that first, whatever we're calling the practice games this year? Don't know who sponsors it. Is it Marsh now? Because they seem to sponsor everything at the minute in the AFL.
Community series?
Yeah, what have they called it this year?
I don't know. I don't know if it's still Community Mark. I don't know.
So it'd be called something banter, won't it?
You just know it's crypto. It's absolutely crypto.
Yes, the Solana Community Series.
All right. So speaking of the list, speaking of rookie spots, let's get back into draft because I guess we'll just start with the most relevant news of the day or the week. And that is something that I'm sure I've already seen a few questions in the chat. So, Pommy, can we break down the news around Carlton trading potentially pick 9 with Essendon and then trading pick 11 with North Melbourne? Let's go through the mechanics of it and let's go through again why it's in Carlton's best interests to do so.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is always a funny one. So, like the best way is we'll visualize it because if I just say numbers, you'll switch off.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll play. So let's play the game. Right. So we'll play the game. We'll do the trade first. So Carlton, we'll do the Carlton and North trade. So the Carlton and North trade per cow to me is 1 of 25 and 26. So let's take the worst value and a future second, right? So you can see there the mechanics of that. Carlton sell 1,205 points. At a current estimate, so what this simulator does is it takes the court average of the points for a second round pick. It's probably on the top end side, so it probably works out at break even is the best way. But
let's just say North Melbourne finish 15th next year, right?
Yeah.
That future second pick is pick 23?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, but by points, it's pretty even. It's pretty even if you think about that way. Now, why would you do that? So, I'm going to give you a scenario in a minute, but when people say, why do we have a future second in the first 5 is the most frequently traded pick in the AFL. And it is the most used pick, that range, 19 to 25, for pick swaps upwards. So I want you to think of it this way, that whoever's worse, Carlton or Sydney, if the AFL rules are what we anticipate them to be, you must have 2 picks to match a Cody Walker bid. Cody Walker won't be pick 1, right, at all. So unless something dramatically changes and the AFL add an incentive to use him pick 1, that won't happen. And then depending on who has pick 2, it'll be either Cochrane or Walker. I think Cochrane might be more appealing than Walker, having been he's very late to the NGA, so his loyalties are a little bit looser than Cody's, who's been there in the system. But irregardless, you would imagine that the future second and whatever worst pick is used will ascertain Carlton's ability to get inside the top 5.
Right.
So that sorts that out. So when people say a future second is irrelevant, it depends if you understand trades. So if you don't, it's irrelevant. If you do, it's incredibly important. So just think of what side of the fence do you want to be on.
Right. So 11 with North for 11 for 25 and a future 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
So and then the next deal we're talking about is, and this is interesting because I mentioned this a while back as a suggested trade on my channel, where pick 9 for 21, 27, and 30. Now it was again, Kaltumi said something has to come back. 100% it does. So for you to match your bid, Essendon have got a problem a bit later on. They've got swayed. They'll definitely want 54 back, so they've got something to even be able to go into deficit with. So we would have presumed this trade's going to be 9 and 54 for 21, 27, and 30, right? Which means Carlton win that trade by about 329 points. What is it? 339. My eyesight's going. I'm looking at the screen about 6 foot away. So if you see me do that, it's me having old eyes, right? So now, why this is important? So we're going to play the scenario here, but when Zeke Hewland is bid on 2, that's going to kill 15, 18, and 24. It's going to kill quite a lot of picks.
Yep.
Right? At this stage here, we'd imagine Dean is the next cab off the rank. So you can see here that Carlton overpay roughly by about 8 points. 20, 24, and 25 are eradicated. So if we just go back, you can see at the moment, pre the draft, Carlton have 20. I forgot I can do that on the new system. 20, 24, 25, 28, and 42. So just remember that 25, what was I say? 25, 24, 25, and 20, 24, 25, 28, and 42.
Yeah.
When this bid comes in, all right, Carlton match it. So Carlton only have 26 and 40 left, right? So 26 and 40 left. Let's reset the draft after the bid. So now when Dean's bid on, just remember, we've got a 20s and a 40s and a future second, right? So we've got Cody Walker locked away, a 20s and a 40s. When people say just keep 9 and 11, it sounds good in theory, but I'll show you why it doesn't work out very well, right? So Carlton matched the bid in the same way. Now, if you look at where Carlton's
without doing those pre-draft trades.
Yeah, without doing these draft trades. Carlton would still have a pick in the 20s, pick 29. They'd have pick 42 and they'd have 53, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we still haven't got the futures. So, yes, we've got Sydney and Collingwood. I mean, because Sydney and our picks next year, future first. You've got the problem, though, that you haven't got something guaranteed yet. And what will happen is when the AFL, presumably when the AFL announce, which they've said it'll be done before Christmas now, when they suddenly say, right, to match a bid in the first 5, you must own a pick in the first 10, that's going to cause a premium. So if you don't have the Arsenal to trade, you're going to be paying others to get that. So what I mean by that is next year, if that comes in force, let's just say North Melbourne's future second is on the table next year, their current second, they know that that's a commodity for you to on-trade. They're going to ask for more. So that is worth noting, but let's just play the game from here, right? It doesn't matter where these go. But if you remember a while ago when Terry had the other simulator guy on here, now bearing in mind, just remember his simulator at the time, used the incorrect formula from 18 to 19. You don't get 10%. You only get minus 84. But I said, what happens when Geelong bid on Ison? Because I had a sneaky feeling they'll bid on Ison, and it turns out it looks locked away. This is where it changes for Carlton, that if they don't trade it, so now Carlton have no future pick, they've matched Ison, they have only got 51 and 52 to use. So you're not getting anyone for 51 and 52 of any use, right? So you're going to get a shit third player, right? You're also got no guarantee you can trade a future pick in next year, and it'll come at a premium when the rules change. So that is really important to know. Now, I've seen quite a lot on Twitter. People are doing the same thing. 19 to 36, you don't pay 10%. It's less than 84. So in some cases, that can work out a 20% discount. So it's important to remember that when you're doing it, because I've seen loads of people saying Carlton can't match, they're in debt.
What's the cutoff? So what pick is the cutoff for the 10% discount?
From pick 19 to pick 36, the AFL rules state it's DVI flat minus 84 points.
Yep.
So it works out sometimes double the actual 10% discount, dependent on what pick it is. And then 37 onwards, it is free. It's just your next pick is burnt. So your next active pick is killed. So that if he slides to 37, Ison, you just get him for next pick. But what I wanted to show you now is just think 250s is your best case scenario if you keep 11 and 12. So let's just do them trades again and get back into what's the difference here. So now in this scenario, remember, Carlton are guaranteed to have a future. So we'll give them 11, we'll give them 54. Bang. So let's recreate it. Let's speed recreate it. So we'll bring... Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. Helps if you actually bid on Dean, doesn't it, Pom?
Yeah.
Right, let's do it. Zeke Euland. Make sure it remembered them trades. I didn't do that Essendon trade. I went back too far. Essendon, Carlton. So there you are. Look, pick 10, 20, 25, and that. I went to...
don't we want to do it before the draft starts?
Well, it doesn't really affect it, Terry.
Okay.
But we can do that if you want, just for clarity.
I'm just curious, yeah.
The points change in that calculation, but in reality, they don't change because no one was affected. But if you go here now, Harry Dean, right, so you see, look, the same thing, and Carlton should have a pick in the 20s and 40s from memory. Yeah, so you got 26, 40, and 51, which was where we were last time. So this is where it changes. So remember, we only had 2 50s. We'll just kill all these players. I need to get to pick 18, don't I? 20. Let's go. Should be close. Mitch Marsh, Noah. Right, so this is why it's so important. This is what happens now. So when we go Jack Eisen at this stage, right, what will happen is Carlton will overpay by 225, which will result in Carlton still having a pick in pick 40 that comes back
40.
into. So before we only had 250s and no future, we have a future now, and we have a pick in the 40s. Now, what is really important about that is in between Carlton's picks, you will have bids on Swede, Max
Ah,
King.
so 40
You
will
will
come
also have
into the
bids on Bo
30s.
Adensol,
So
and Zach McCarthy. And
uh-huh.
if you listen to Cal Toomey and me, you will also have bids on Jai Murray and Tyler Williams and Harry Kyle, right? So let's find these guys. There's one of them. Here's the other one. Right, so you'll now see that Carlton's pick has come into pick 38.
Okay.
Now, what that would have done is the old 51 was just where Collingwood won. Carlton would have gone up to 49, right? So when if anyone is saying keep 9 and 11 and just eat the bid on 3, you don't understand where Jack Eisen is being taken. So it's all very good to say that because on face value, but when you say to me 9 and 11 and we'll just match Dean and we'll still have a pick, that is like when my little brother, I used to get £5 pocket money a month. And what me and my brother used to do to my little brother is we used to get 550 pences and tell him that was, we clubbed up and we used to say that 550 pences plus his 550 pences is worth more than your one £2 coin when he did it, right? But you need to give us 5 £2 coins and 450 senses because there was more coins. It looked like there's more, but in reality, we were ripping him off £2 every time, right? That is what you're saying. So this is why it's really important you understand how the draft system works. Because yes, it looks stupid on face value, but in reality, right? In reality, you have secured next year as well. I can't tell you how important that pick is in the future, right? That will be incredibly important to trade up.
And ultimately, this news has come about because there are now stronger reports than last week that West Coast will be bidding on Harry Dean as early as their second pick.
Yeah. Now there is other ramifications. Now, if let's just say Carlton, how this will be done is Carlton will do the trade as soon as the draft starts if they're 100% convinced, right? These guys are not going to bid, right? They'll do it very early. They'll probably do it on the bid. So they're not obliged to do it. But I just want to show you, right? A lot of people are really annoying me at the minute. And trust me, I'm getting tired. I'm 40 years old. I get asked a lot of stupid questions at home. So sometimes I'm a bit short with people and I don't mean to be. I'm just getting tired. But let's just do the trade everyone keeps saying. Why don't we do 13 and 34 for pick 9, right? With the Eagles, right? And the Eagles don't bid on Dean. This is the reason that the Eagles won't do it, right? If they go that way, now this is what they'll know. Just look, this is doing the deal. Carlton now have 11 and 13. Why that's a shit deal for the Eagles is this. Let's force them to bid, right? So 13 has been totally eaten up. So in this scenario, their 13 has become 10, right? They know that if they agree not to bid on Dean and you give them an earlier pick, even if they bid, even if they don't bid, their pick is always worse off. And it would be cheaper for them not to give Carlton pick 34 when they've got Tyler Williams to worry about and just actually bid on him pick 2, right? So it's an actual shit deal because it's basically in Eagles mentality. They're like, why would we help you out when we can just make our pick in between 9 and 11 by bidding on Harry Dean? And you're also asking us to give 34, which gives us a problem to get Tyler in as well. So that's why when everyone goes, oh, just go to Eagles. the Eagles would be morons to do a deal in which they could already get that deal themselves just by saying pick 2 will take Harry Dean or pick 3 will take Harry Dean. So it's not a sell. And then when people say, well, I don't want to help Essendon out. Okay, cool. If you want to be a child, okay. But in reality, Carlton have got to get a deal that Richmond want to help. Richmond don't want to trade out of the top 5. They've said they will only trade out for a deal that is ridiculous. So that deal that's ridiculous isn't 10 and 13 that will go down the order. That's a bad deal for them. Essendon, same as Eagles. If they want pick 9, or they just hope that pick 2 isn't bid and then they do it and it comes in. Essendon are obviously convinced Harry Dean will be bid on. So you see, this is why Carlton are in a predicament, because every team you can negotiate with only has to bid on Dean. So why would they not bid on Dean? Like, genuinely, I would be angry because I am a man that wants the competition to be hard. I think this management is too easy. If the Eagles traded the opportunity just to piss everyone off, it makes no sense. Because then the competition is Mickey Mouse and they're helping everyone else. Makes sense for Eagles to book as many people as they can in that deal. So I hope that clarifies it for you that, yes, on paper, 13 and 34 makes sense. To the Eagles, it doesn't, because they can keep 34 and make 13-11 just by bidding.
Yeah.
So why would they?
Yeah. So the bottom line is the reason that we would do such a trade is to accumulate more points to shore up our future next year with Walker, make sure we have enough for Dean, make sure we have enough for Ison and potentially a third player.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
In this, if you watch my trade, if you didn't watch my draft video, just so you know, I did that 24 hours before Cal Toomey and it was released this morning. Just to humble brag, for the first time ever, he might have copied your Uncle Pom, you know. But no, he didn't. Cal does great work. He works with the list managers, so his intel is better. Us poor schmucks are using intelligence and guesswork. But Carlton's pick will roughly come in and around this range, right? So ask the question, Pommy, who's in that range? Let's go and have a look. So this is actually ranked in a consensus order. So these kind of picks are consensus at the time. They probably need updating because they're about 4 weeks. But a good way to find it is if you go on Pommy and Ozzy's website, we've got the power rankings where I've ranked them all for you with a consensus ranking and my ranking. But let's go into the 30s. Let's go. So players of interest that I want you just to keep a mental note of down here. So there's a couple of guys that I like that Carlton might end up with. So who's in the market for a key forward? Who fancies us going a little bit tall? Anyone?
Yeah, I'll take a forward.
So here you are. We've got Archie Ludowick here. So key forward. This guy was probably going top 20. Had a PCL. I remember doing my first mock ranking about March, April. Luda was about 18, 17 at the time. He had a PCL. Now, the great thing about Luda is he's probably one of the best set shots you'll ever see. Very repeatable action, modern day, heavily sports science. Loves to lead. Really suits what Carlton like as well. He's probably more Harry Mackay than Charlie Curnow, but he's probably got Charlie Curnow's athleticism over Harry in the terms of he's very quick and very mobile. So definitely someone that I want you to keep your eye out for. Another gentleman around this range, if you do want a taller player, could be someone like Louis Emmett, may slide that way. I don't see it at all. Other sliders that we are expected, a big one that has slid quite a bit, and it might require Carlton trading up. I've got him in the 20s, but Cal Toomey didn't have him in the 30s. It's a guy called Noah Hibbins-Hargraves. Best way I could describe Noah Hibbins-Hargraves is imagine if you made Blake Acres not frustrating. That would be one person that I would tell you to have a look at. There's a host of kind of bit part players as well down here. You've got players. I'm a big fan of a guy called Riley Onley. So Riley Onley is the kind of player that you would imagine. Riley Onley, best way to describe him is if you went to Team U and you wanted to get Marcus Bontempelli, they'd probably send you Arcus Contempelli. He looks the same, kind of does the same thing. Looks like that. Tom Burton, if Carlton want to go with this obsession of a halfback that can play mid, he's a midfielder that can play a halfback. Avery Thomas, he's kind of Lockie Cowan 2.0. So there's quite a few options for Carlton down the track. Louis Emmett has been tipped to slide. Taj Murray is one of my boys, Northern Territory boy. Reminds me a lot of the St Kilda guy I was hot on a couple of years ago, whose name escapes me, the beautiful Indigenous tall guy. Moves like an otter. Terry, help me out. Who was my boy a couple of years ago?
For Carlton?
Yeah, and they picked him up. Isaac Keelaw.
Oh, yes.
Isaac Keelaw 2.0. Right. So, King Shees, who are these players? Can you name them to me? Because I haven't seen his article. I haven't watched anything today.
I'll get it up. I'll tell you now.
Probably my favourite slider of the draft is this guy, Sam Allen, as well, if Carlton want an inside midfielder who can play on the wing. So Carlton have got a lot of options. There is rumours that Carlton heavily rate the late second, early third rounder. This was an article that I think Ben Wordsworth, or whatever he's called, did 4 weeks ago, said that Carlton were heavily invested in the late 20s, early 30s. They felt like the AFL pundits were wrong and there was a lot of talent. And I would actually agree with them because I've been one of the advocates that is very, very, very pleasantly happy with this area. So Fred Rodriguez was one of them. So Fred Rodriguez, Fred the Red, big fan of Fred Rodriguez. So Fred Rodriguez, incredibly good.
He actually mentioned your mate, Tobin Murray, as a player.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Yeah, can I just say, look, I'm not one to complain. I know it's against my genetics being English, but everyone's quick to tell me when I'm wrong. It'd be nice if you just tell me when I'm right. Look, I'll take 1 in 10, right? 1 in 10. But I will say this. So Tobin Murray, mature age, he was sensational. So imagine Lockie Fogarty with good ball use is the way that I'd say. Really tenacious, works really hard. Defensive and attacking wise. Big issue with Tobin is he's probably a little bit gun shy at times.
Yeah.
But he's very, very quick. Like, he covers ground amazingly. He's definitely got the ability to kick goals.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. The other one you've said is Felix Nip. Okay,
he said Tobin Murray, Hamish Bird, Fred Rodriguez, and Felix Neep as a rookie option.
Oh, so in the rookie draft. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, that would make sense because I was going to say the names you're throwing at me at the minute are quite low down my list. But Felix Nip, who is he? So Felix reminds me a little bit of Jack Carroll. Now, that could be a good or a bad thing. Don't get upset with him. But why I say that is I'm trying to work out, and this is why I've got him lowly rated. I hate people that I can't tell you what they are without a degree of certainty. So was really strong halfback. He's quick and he's got great endurance. Very Carlton selection because I'd say he runs all day, but he's quite quick, right? I will say this: the difference between everyone else we've got is he hits targets. His ball use is impeccable. He's got a beautiful ball drop as well, and he's probably one of 3 players on our list that doesn't need to stop for that ball drop to work. He drops it on the run, so that's a real solid option. My issue with Felix is where do you play him? Because I feel like we've got Billy Wilson at halfback. We've got Harry Charleston that I want to see at halfback. I feel like that area is quite overrun with talent. And I can't see him starting off as a mid or a half forward. I think he will start down the back. Hamish Bird, see the same kind of, comes from Calder Cannons as well. So Carlton do love going to this area, right? So Hamish Bird, he was actually a co-captain, so that's really important. But very similar type of player in the terms of that you do see that when Hamish gets the ball, he definitely needs to use the ball a bit quicker. He finds the ball a lot it's definitely something he could. But he does play that kind of Elijah Hollands role, right? So he's kind of very Audi Elijah Hollands. When he gets the ball front of centre, he is very aggressive, not so defensive. So that would be a different makeup as what we've had before. And who was the other one? We've had Felix Knitt, Hamish Bird, Toby Murray.
Fred Rodriguez.
Oh, and Fred Rodriguez. So
Yeah.
Fred the Red. We love Fred. So Fred is just a really solid inside-out player. Does he have any traits that are world-class? Probably not, but they're all high 6, 7 out of 10. One thing that I really like about Fred, and we had a big argument about this on one of my draft battles, I think he's underrated. And the reason that I say he's underrated is when you go and watch him play for WA, when they were rubbish and overrun, he shone, which I think is a really big thing when you watch junior football. Because when you are playing winning and downhill skiing, that's quite a lot happens in junior football. When you're up against it, though, that's when you really excite me. And I think something that Fred does is he's industrious, he's hardworking. I could see him being kind of a George Hewitt 2.0 in the terms of he will maximize his application.
Yep. I think this is an interesting point here.
Nick, what wasn't clear? You asked me the question, I'll open it up.
Yes. LS, this is a great problem to have that people rate Dean enough to bid that early. In 3 years, you bring in 3 top 3 talents in Jagger, Dean, and Cody.
Six, 7. There you are. Look, my kids will love that I've done that. Well, you know what, LS, tell you what, you're not on the payroll, but you should be. You should be. We've got something to show you. So this is probably why the AFL rate these guys quite highly, right? Oh, I pressed the wrong one, Terry. Help me out.
I got you.
So
let's put us, where are we?
I can't remember which one we pressed pre-show.
Yeah, what did we do? Was it here? Definitely wasn't that.
What did we press? Wait, can I just say, we did a demo run off camera.
Yeah, we did this perfectly.
It was schmick. It worked straight away, right? It's one of them, Terry. I think it's one of the end ones for one reason.
What has happened here? Hang on, I can fix this.
Terry, what? I wish we recorded it because genuinely we pressed one button and it worked. So
I will fix this live. Don't worry.
Oh, it's all right. Got all the time in the world. But yeah, Nick, if you're in there, mate, let me know what you were unclear about, or I was unclear, more likely, and I will go over it again. I can do this all day. So what this is here is you haven't seen this before, so this is something new. So what TPI does, the one that does the rating, is it's now starting to formulate a projection based on year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, right? So what you're seeing on your screen at the minute is the purple line is the AFL average for the players that play that position, right? And that's their year 5 where they should be, right? Bang, AFL average. So then you'll see the red one, which is a conservative projection. So you'll see here, intercept defenders, third tall players, they come from a low standing, but they usually hit their straps about year 4, year 5. You can see here, Harry Dean's quite interesting because the orange is normal. It's just most players, if they, at the current rate, and they just grow like every intercept defender does. If you notice, his elite growth, quick growth, and his normal growth puts him in the elite category of players.
After 3 years.
So he will reach that, Terry, year 5.
Year 5.
Year 5. So once it hits the top gradient, we're talking...
Oh, so the top gradient at 10 is elite?
That's God's thumbprint.
Right.
You see, but if he also goes at a normal state, a normal rate of development, he will reach that year 5. And you can see there that worst case, if the bottom percentile of players, if he develops like then, he should be above AFL average, which is very strong. A very strong prospect. So when people say, is he worth a top 5 pick? if these projections are right, yes, because I believe if you're on the top 5, it's got to be a 250 gamer. That's how I judge a top 5 player. It's why my ratings and rankings, as Tatum was saying earlier, are always different to everyone else. I rate these players on guarantee ability. I don't really care about ceiling. Ceiling doesn't turn me on. What turns me on is the ability to be a good player forever and not waste the pick. I'll take a punt with pick 20, not taking a pick with pick 5. I think you make sure. So very interesting that Harry Dean, all roads point to very good.
Is Harry Dean one of those players that no matter which team he would end up at, he would be good? Because you know how certain players would fit a certain club? Is Harry Dean like that? Or is Harry Dean more of a player that didn't matter where he went?
I think Harry Dean, I mean, for people wondering, Terry asked this before, the green is almost Jacob Wheatering's ascent, right? He was a lot better than normal, reached his plateau a little bit earlier, reached his plateau to be elite year 3. So probably even faster than that. It's a quite steep rise. So to answer your question, I think he would be a bit like Wheatering. I think his defensive numbers would be incredibly strong at Eagles. If he was under the cosh, incredibly strong because they don't have a profile of an intercept defender per se. I think if you put him in Brisbane, he'd be crazy good because his best is attacking the ball and hitting it at flight. And I think at a team like Carlton, playing him, I think he can easily surpass year 1 what Harry O'Farrell did. So the good moments, definitely a better player than Harry O'Farrell, a long way, chalk and cheese.
Right.
Like, we're talking other time zone of good footballer.
Mm-hmm. So we're not so worried about him. But also, I do like that this also does still paint a picture that we have to wait. We still have to wait. If you like, he's going to be good, but we still have to wait. It's not giving you an unrealistic projection that he's all Australian, in his first or second year.
Yeah, so, I mean, what this is saying, so to translate this into POM, can I visualize something? What this is saying is in the first year, when we do our rating show, if he plays round 1 to round 24, we should be seeing somewhere between a year rating of about 5.5 to 6.5.
Yeah.
So that's what you want to think. If he's churning out 6s, Fap Town. You know what I mean? Like, it's good. But it's a good visualization because some people think, oh my God, I remember when Nick Dacos played and he was like ranked 4th best player. And I'm like, yeah, he's playing outside halfback. Like, I score well at halfback. This guy's playing in the furnace. So it's interesting. You know what? It's quite funny as well. I was watching a documentary the other day with Aidan Sherbert, and a big thing is people forget Harry Dean is an impeccable one-on-one defender as well. So it had the Vic Country coach, and he destroyed everyone before him. Put Sherbert to bed. Was one of the few that did well on Mitch Marsh as well. They actually moved him to Mitch Marsh when Mitch Marsh started to kill the other guys. So people forget Harry Dean can defend as well. It's the sexy attacking that we like him for. But this is the guy I really want to talk about.
This is fascinating.
So this is someone that I really, really wanted to talk about. So remember, they're rated against their own position. So we're looking now at a mid-forward. So you can see there that straight away the purple line drops dramatically because players that can play mid-forward, fuck me. Some good, some really shit. Some superstars, you've all got your shirts. Some working at Coles by year 5. So this is a tough position to be good at because it's like literally what the data says, all or nothing. You're either going to be a hero or you're working at pack and save. Like there is no in between with this role. You are either going to sink or swim. And I'm with LS here. Great spot. I love this guy. So let's look at Jack Ison. In the 190s, incredible ball user, has a left foot like a surgeon. He's incredible in the air. Now, his one deficiency is probably something that Carlton are very good at. Ground ball pressure in the front half. It's something that they overtrain and underutilize. But I want you to think, player comparison. Imagine if Jack Martin never got hurt at Gold Coast, right? That's who I want you to imagine. Imagine Jack Martin never got hurt. So if we go for his year 5 projection, so you can think of someone, it's Connor McDonald or year 3, Sam Flanders.
Damn, man.
So it's hard to find someone similar to him because he's an obscure height for this position. But I would say conservative, we're looking at orange. I think orange is where we're going to do. So great question, Jason. I can't go into the great fundamentals of how these are correlated, but what it does is the TPI, it works out what he's done at junior level. It then goes through and finds players in a weighted scale in their draft that were similar height, similar position, similar team win-loss ratio, similar pick draft projection wise. So we don't go on draft position, we go on projection because that's a lot fairer on the players because it's how people viewed them via the eye versus the data, because no one in Australia thinks data matters, even though it's how sport is done. So it does that. Then what it does is it takes them into the AFL. And what it does is it calculates 5 different averages. The guys that get delisted, the guys that survive, the guys that thrive, and the upper echelon. And then it allocates a percentage chance of where it is. From then, it has 3 algorithms it runs off. Conservative, which is genuinely 60% of the league. Better, which is the 25% of the league. And then the green one you're seeing, which is like the 5%, God's thumbprint, the best players, right? So it's good. So it's good. So yeah, so Jack Ison, you can see here. Chances are you're going to get a 7 out of 10 footballer. Best case, though, if he comes out the blocks flying, which he's probably got a good chance to. He's got Will Hayward playing on the other side. He could do it. Dan, to answer your question, I'm not God, mate. So there is no guarantee in this. Jack Ison tomorrow could quit sport. Jack Ison 3 years' time could have a horrific injury. Jack Ison year 2 could fall out with the powers that be and they stonewall him. There is no guarantee. So unfortunately,
that's why there's 3 options here, 3 different scenarios,
and it's why it's called projection, not guarantee. So if I was an advert, it would be past performances are not indicative of future results.
Is there a way? So I'm thinking, okay, Ollie Hollands, and is there a way we can go back and see what Ollie Hollands' projections were at the start before he played a game and what he turned out to be? And same for a guy like Sam Walsh, for example.
We could do, yes.
That's something for the future. So, like, I mean,
we could,
without knowing what it looks like.
Once it's perfectly refined,
yeah.
Give me January the 1st.
Yep.
Right? It'll be all automated and it'll be on the website. So I know you've all got questions. Like Rambo, I'm not going to tell people that, am I? All you're going to get out of me is it will be free to use. So unlike the other AFL scene, everything I make will be able for you to use and play with. We might not give away the calculations and how it's done, but there will be enough information for you to understand how it is doing it. But they call me Hunt, not what rhymes with it. I would be stupid to say, wow, this is the metric and this is the algorithm that does it, because that is for me to know. But there will be enough evidence there to show you how it works. It's just not going to be a figure that's popped out of its head.
There's also, I'll just share my screen here. There's also on your website an AFL ladder predictor.
There is indeed. I need to actually upload the new one because the coding is slightly out because North Melbourne Kangaroos have 3 names. But yes, you can play with it, Terry. Can I just say, I made this for Terry. Genuinely. Like, I was like, Terry has nothing to do. God bless him. They didn't let him have a ladder predictor. I made him one. So what this does, I am really excited about this. So this one here, if Terry clicks auto simulate,
ooh,
right? So this runs. It's got a very base it's got a very base algorithm at the first, right? So it's got a very base algorithm where it rates the teams and ranks the teams, right? So it gives them a ranking. This will eventually be coming, right? This will eventually become like the modern day ratings. Once we've got the new teams coming in and the new players, we can update that. But what this will do, and then it has what's called a chaos factor. So because the AFL is never linear, so like Dan Quinn, he's getting really upset the fact that projections say it's average. So remember, it's a normalized figure of AFL average on the average state of rate. So if you go back to the first time that I described it, Danny, just to let you go through it, I said a large portion of these end up in coals. That makes up the AFL average. So just because it's above that line, it just basically means him being above that line. Chances are he's not going to work at Coles. It doesn't mean he's going to be an All-Australian. Don't get too caught up. Get caught up on what I'm saying, not what I'm not saying. Remember that. Pommy doesn't talk in riddles. He talks in facts. So back to this. You've got a chaos rating. AFL is not linear. So the favourites don't always win. What this does is it has a chaos factor based on the last 3 years of AFL chaos. So it will manipulate that rating with that value. So you'll get different ones. But if you want to have a preset, Terry, go to the presets. This is really cool, isn't it? Hey, the AFL doesn't give you this. POM does. And guess what? The AFL doesn't get dickhead DMs and nasty comments, does it? I do. And I give you this for free, and the AFL charge you through KO. Tell me POMs are bad people again. So if you click the preset, Terry, this is what you tell me the preset is broken.
No, it's working. It might just not be showing up when I share my screen here. I can see random round, home heavy, and away upsets.
Yeah, so this one as well allows you to rank the rounds. So for argument's sake, you can like, you know, have it so just all the teams in the home have a heavily advantage. You can do it so away teams. So like somewhere like when it's the neutral round, like gather round.
Yep.
Because you can also do the auto simulate round by round and just simulate round and things like that. This allows you to do that. So this is really, really exciting. It's a really good little thing. And Terry will be really happy because if you go down to the bottom, got final series, Terry. I mean, you can do it. And there's loads going on in the background, just so you know, there's loads going on. I have these stupid ideas. Like, I don't sleep very well.
This is ridiculous, man. Like,
because I've got something wrong with me. So I've had like 5 hours sleep since I was 18. Probably the copious amounts of cocaine and heroin I did when I was 18, and it affects me. But that being said, I have these stupid ideas. I've got a really cool idea for when you choose the flag, and I've nearly perfected it. But what it'll do is it'll delete the board and your team logo will pop up and it'll play the song saying premieres. Terry! How fucking good is that?
It's very, very impressive. I've not really seen anything like this. This is bizarre.
Because I'm a sad little man. I mean, that's what I am. But yeah, that's going to be fully customizable as well. So great band, the presets as well. Well done. Rocco, good man. Man of culture and taste. But yeah, so this is going to have loads of things added. And this, I'll reveal a couple of secrets. In the new year, you will have this. You'll also have, do you remember that sheet that's got all the lists? Right, that I sell as Excel? That's going to be hard-coded. And from there, you can actually do provisional trades. So you can trade players out, delist players, add players, and see how that affects your team rating. But you'll also, which is really exciting, you'll be able to literally manipulate. There'll be so many presets on here. So as the season goes on, if there's any trends the algorithm detects, it'll update in real time. It will update weekly, that rating as well. So you can have a look at how that affects the rest of the season. Like, full one-stop shop. Genuinely, one-stop shop.
Bizarre. Great work. Great work.
Yeah, so next time you're on Twitter and you say you fucking hate English people or something, just remember Uncle Pom, man of the people.
Slobbo, He's doing the rounds. What's your best memory of the great Darren Hume? U2 Pom, aka the GOAT, Darren Hume. I remember Darren Hume. Don't know why I'm remembering this. I remember him. It was MCG. It was wet, and he was wearing long sleeve. I don't know why that's just come to mind.
I was going to say, I have no idea who you're on about, and that was like literally 7 years before I came here. So,
Yeah.
My best memory, you done it in $8, so I know who the fuck he is now. So you've got to make me go down the rabbit. That's my best memory. I'll be Googling Darren Hume tonight.
Yeah, Pup. I believe his nickname was Pup. I believe, yeah, because the way he played. I think that was him. North Melbourne, 2001, basically won us the game. Okay.
So he seems iconic. He sounds like the type of player that I would have fallen in love with.
Oh, you would have loved him. Oh, yeah. He was like Dennis Armfield
he was
before
shit,
Dennis.
Tried hard.
Yeah, but you know what? He was actually pretty solid. You know, like he was tough and solid.
So like a good Josh DeLuca.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, he's fuck. You know me. Sold.
Oh, he was called Pup because of Fraser Brown, the dog. I see.
Can I just say that is genius?
That is very good.
He was similar to Aaron Joseph. What? The guy who runs... Oh, that's Adam Joseph.
No. Aaron Joseph once tagged Gary Ablett and held him to 24 possessions. You're an idiot.
I was trying to
You're a fucking idiot.
I was trying to translate what he was saying, guy. What, he fucking broke news? Like, I was trying to think, like, my brain was going overtime. Was going absolutely over. I don't fucking get it. That's an obscure reference. Ah, dear.
Oh, that's brilliant. Johnny Holden, closest thing was Dennis Armford, but not as quick. Darren Hume built my deck. He's a chippy now. You know, that makes...
Damien, I miss your business YouTube. That was really... My kids used to watch that.
Damien Munier. Yes, I have an interview there. He was one of the first people to interview me.
He did, yeah.
The Entrepreneur Spotlight. I remember.
Yeah.
All right. What else have we got? Other than... No, that's it. Mate, Wednesday night, Wednesday night, what time does the draft start? Do we have a confirmation of that?
In it like 6 o'clock.
Is it?
6 or 7, and then like it goes on for 2 hours.
Even though
it's probably gone for 3 hours this time because we're probably going to get to like pick 29, 30.
The 2025
could be an all-nighter, Terry. This could be longer than a game of cricket, bro.
2025 Telstra AFL Draft will be broadcast live on
7:30. Cheers, Lou.
7:30. 7 p.m. is when it starts the coverage, so that'll be us.
Oh dear.
Rocco, am I channeling my inner Kramer? No.
I do like the hair. It looks like a Playmobil character.
Yeah, I'm letting it grow a little bit. See what happens. See what happens on the other side of preseason.
Mate, always a pleasure.
Well, mate, thank you very much for tonight. And I'm pumped for Wednesday because hopefully, I mean, does everything just get blown? Does everything just get thrown into whiplash if West Coast don't make the bid? Then we're just back on.
Yeah, I mean, if that doesn't happen, you'd imagine Carlton do the trade with Essendon in that scenario because there's an agreement that Essendon don't take the player. So then 11 doesn't really get affected at all. So you can imagine that Carlton might actually go to them and say, look, let's do 9 for a future.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Fuck 21, 27, 30. Let's do a future second and maybe 21. And then Carlton are like, well, that will sort Ison out and we'll have a pick before Ison.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in tonight. This was the final live Blue Abroad show for 2025. So thanks for being here throughout the year. Cannot wait for Wednesday. Honestly, it's going to be so much fun. Please tune in and invite a friend. Bring a friend, tell a friend that we're streaming live on YouTube on Wednesday night, and it'll be lots of fun. If you were here last year, you will remember how we went through player by player. You're going to get all the information you need to live as it happens, and we cannot wait to bring it to you. So, Pommy,
So
see you Wednesday night.
Can't wait. Cheers, everyone. Look after yourselves and go Blues.
Go Blues, baby.